All right, coolio, dude. Yeah, so it seems like you've watched a few of these and everything. I pretty much just kind of wing it and everything, but I just pretty much want to know like how you got into trades. Obviously, I'll ask you questions and everything, but how you got into the trades, like what you're doing now, and then what you plan for the future. And then I always have kind of a thing at the end, like what you recommend for like younger guys coming into this. Mostly all this like interview stuff is for guys like that coming into construction shit just to watch other guys what they're doing, and figure out like what they should be doing and stuff. So first started off who you are, what you do, where you're located, pretty much all the information that you can give me off the bat.
Yeah, so my name's Gio. Well, it's Giovanni Gutierrez, but I go by Gio, and my LLC is Red Hawk Pole Structures. So, with that being said, I'm in the pole structure industry. My bread and butter is post frame construction, which is pole barns mainly.
Okay.
That's what I specialize in. I have been licensed for 4 years now, but I've always worked with my hands since I was a little boy. My dad, growing up, always had tools. He had a roofing business at one point, and he was kind of known around the neighborhood to do little side gigs here and there. You know, someone needed a fence, someone needed a little shed or whatever. He'd be the guy. So I was always kind of around working with him, kind of soaking it up. And then basically as I grew older, I used to flip pizzas for a living, but at the same time, I was kind of a DIYer. I come from like an artistic background too, so I'm an artist as well. Um, so I used to have to make frames or build little canvases or panels for me to be able to paint on or whatever. And my dad always had tools laying around, so I've always been around tools and always helping my dad out. But a while ago, while I was flipping pizzas, I met this guy. His name's Nathan Wismer. Shout out Nathan. He took me under his wing. He does custom woodworking and steelwork. So I started working for him for about 2 years, and that really is what got me into the understanding of how to build things and know my way around tools, how to read a tape measure properly, and all of that. And I helped them with a couple little framing projects here and there. But mostly we were doing glue ups for interior tables, cabinets, a little bit of welding here and there. That's kind of what got the
So
ball.
was he more of like a furniture and cabinet maker or
Yes.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Um, that's what he specializes in. He's still active. And around that time, I ended up connecting with my high school sweetheart. We went our separate ways for a while, kind of did our own thing, and then reunited. We used to into each other all the time at like bars downtown, and we'd always be like, "Hey, how are you?" Hit me up. And then finally, one thing led to another. We started dating, and then we ended up getting married. And her father runs Cascade Mountain Construction, and he's been building pole barns since the 80s in Oregon. So he kind of knew that I was a little bit unhappy with the pizza shop. I was doing that in conjunction with the cabinet making and
Okay.
press making. So I was working from like 7 in the morning to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I would take off from Nathan's and head to the pizza shop where I used to work and then work till like 9 o'clock. So between both of those jobs, that's how I was able to, maintain, pay our bills basically.
Yeah.
Uh, and her dad had a vacuum in his company, and he approached me and was like, "Hey, how would you like to come learn the trade and work with us?" And I was stoked about that, so I said yes. I ended up leaving Nathan and quitting the pizza job at the same time basically, and started working for him. That's how I started to learn how to do the pole barns and how those are all built, and that's when I really started to look at blueprints and architectural design and all that, and realizing how all those things come together to create a product. The way that he works, he doesn't have employees, so his company I mean contracts me, my brother-in-law, and another buddy out. We each are individually licensed, bonded, and insured, and us three make up his crew. So when I came on board, he said, I really encourage you to get your contractor's license first and foremost. So he helped me out with that. He helped pay for that so that I could get my license, so that he had a crew of licensed individuals. I also believe that helps with his business as far as not having employees or anything like that.
That's pretty much how I run it. It's just all subs. I mean, they're really close and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all subcontractors and anybody who like comes on, if they do come on as an apprentice or something,
Mhm.
I do tell them to just get licensed. So like that's the goal if we do have one.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it does help with just it just makes taxes easier, dude. The payroll taxes are insane on employees. So
absolutely. And then also, you're in our state, you have to carry, workers' comp, and,
yeah. Yeah.
you start bringing in
Dude,
more.
California, so like the way I do it, everybody else carries their workman's comp, right?
Mhm.
And if you're just like me, a single person, you used to not have to have a workman's comp policy because obviously it's only you getting hurt. But
Right.
now California makes me have this thing called a ghost policy. So I actually have workman's comp on myself, even
Okay.
though I would never be the one to use it because I'm the one paying the workman's comp
Yeah.
anyways.
Interesting. There's
But yeah, dude, it's
funny.
getting kind of ridiculous with the workman's comp.
I've also heard a lot of people of like working around that through like what do you call that, where
Yeah, there's a like a waiver you can buy from the state or something like that. Yeah, there is something you can get, but again, it's way more expensive than just
Mhm.
doing that. Like you gotta kind of be a big player to like purchase that, at least in my state, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. We're sort of similar as well. And then, like I said, with that, um, it helps him out, and then it helps us out as well. So us three, the crew, we're able to also break off and do side projects all of the time whenever we want, whenever there's a lull in his business. We can break off and go do something else. And another thing that I wanted to share too is I don't strictly work for him. There is another company that I work for. They're based out of Idaho. I'm not gonna mention them just
Yeah,
because
that's fine. Yeah, no worries.
there's a non-compete agreement that I have with them. So I can't technically be bidding on a full like shop build that is similar or has anything having to do with pole structures like that because of that non-compete. So I'm able to go back and forth whether he doesn't have a job lined up or there's going to be a month or two where the next permit's going to break. I can go work for this other company, and they do things a little bit different, but I'm able to bounce back and forth. And working for this other company too, I've been able to learn a lot of different applications. With Cascade Mountain Construction, we usually do post and ground in our area. We live in a super dry area, so you know, a lot of people feel some type of way about that. Obviously, if you can afford to do something like a concrete permacolumn, which I also do for this other company that I mentioned, um, that'd be the way to go. They're just way more expensive. So I'm able to do a couple different variations of the same
Yeah,
style.
if you don't mind me asking, what around ballpark is the cost difference of that? Then because I'm sure, dude, putting poles in the ground, you just fucking bang it out pretty quick.
Yes. So let's say you're looking at a column that's going to cost you $180. You're
Hmm.
looking at 16-foot eve. It goes 4 feet in the ground. So for like a 20-foot column, you're looking at around, let's say, $150. For a permacolumn, you're looking, and this is a pre-built tri-lam permacolumn. So it's already got your column set into your bracket and the concrete form. You're looking at around,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you're looking at around $300 a piece. So it's a
So pretty
huge.
much double the price.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the labor with that, there's a lot of nuances with the permacolumn system. So it takes twice as long to set your foundation, basically. And then it takes twice as long to get ready to just roll in the framing. You have to do some furring out, some blocking, just to get you to the point where you have an even consistent plane from your concrete to your bracket to your column. getting everything all lined up. So it takes a little bit longer. So your cost ends up going up as well for like the labor side of it. You know, you want to take that into account as well. So that's kind of what I do. Also on the side, I do, you know, I've been painting a little bit here and there to fill my time. I was able to a couple years ago. My wife and I had some water damage in our
Oh,
home.
don't worry
Uh,
about my video. Just keep going.
sure, we had some water damage here in our home, and because I am licensed and insured and all that, I was able to uh, hit up the insurance company and pretty much be the general on my home remodel, which was cool. So I've done tile, shower pans, flooring, reframing, plumbing, all kinds of stuff with that as well. But like I said, my bread and butter is the pole structures, day in and day out. That's what we're most efficient at. That's what we're, you know, good at banging out. So
Yeah.
it's kind
Yeah,
of what.
so what besides just like getting into it because of circumstance and stuff, what made pole barns like really click with you? Like in you like was it just the ease of it or is it just you got a bunch of work for it? Like what made you like them? You know, instead of going into like more interior work and tile work and stuff like that.
Obviously, yeah, it was the circumstance, but on
Yeah.
top of that, I really taken a liking to them. I think there's a pretty big vacuum for. There's a lot of people that want these barn dominions built these days,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's popping up everywhere, and everyone tends to think that just because it is a pole barn or something like that, not a stick built um, shop,
Yeah.
that it's much cheaper, or that's the way to go, or whatever. But there's no shortage of work for the pole barns. It's just everywhere. Everybody wants a pole barn. Everyone wants a shop. Everyone wants an ADU or a garage. And the post frame it delivers the clear span that people are looking for these days. You know, we don't
Yeah.
all of our load points are on our columns, so you can have, you know, a 60 by 60 completely open space, you know, 18-foot eaves, you know, just completely open. And I think that's really appealing to people. I also like the fact that because that all of your load points are there, you have complete uh, freedom create, you know, to just frame in the inside
Yeah.
however you want. You know, there's limitless options on how you can finish out a build. So I do like that about it a lot. Just not having to have, you know, load bearing walls in the middle of your build where you don't want one or anything like that. I know there's other ways around it to, you know, do it in a stick frame or conventional frame home or shop, but that is one thing that I like about the post frame.
Yeah,
And
it's more like commercial, like because like when we do commercial work, dude, it's like all the load points are on the exterior walls, and so you can just go in there and blow out all the fucking walls, and you don't have to worry about shit besides utilities and stuff, you know?
exactly, yeah. So I like the freedom of being able to just build the envelope, and that's kind of how we work too. We typically build the envelope and then see you later. You know, we're out of here. It's
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing it with those sheds. Like we've just got so much volume, so I try to get like right now it's summer, so I'm trying to get all the foundations in
Mhm.
and all the shells up and stuff. Doesn't rain too much here, but once it starts raining, I want to just have only inside work.
Yeah,
Um, but it's just I don't know, it's kind of tough to get people into that rhythm. Like, yeah, we come up, we show up, we're here for 2 or 3 days, bang a bunch out and then
yeah,
like I don't see you for like 2 weeks or a month and then we come back, you
yeah.
know?
So right now too, with in the conjunction, you know, working with those two companies, we're pretty busy. Like we currently have three builds going on, and so we'll get a build where it's like, all right, we're gonna set all of our columns, do the formwork for your pad, and then build the roof and dry it in, and then we're gonna be gone for a little bit. You know, it might be a month till we come back because the other project pad's already been poured. We're moving on to framing. We're moving on to
Yeah.
exterior siding. We're moving on, you know, doing the asphalt roof, whatever. So that's how we work too. We bounce as long as we're busy. We're able to bounce around from job to job and have those jobs going in conjunction at a rate where it makes sense for us to fill our time as well. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, we're waiting for the pad, so we're going to bounce here, we're going to do this, bounce there. So yeah, pretty cool.
How are inspections in your area? Are you see it's a pain in the ass, or is it pretty
Um,
straightforward?
Depends on the inspector, to be
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
For example, right now at this job that we're working in, it's called Sisters. It's here in Oregon. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know where Sisters is. Yeah, yeah,
I'm located in Oregon. If I didn't mention that
yeah.
yet, I'm in Redmond, which is about 15 minutes north of Bend, which is a pretty booming city. So there's no shortage of work. But in that area, there's a certain inspector that is kind of a hard ass. So we get engineered sets of plans, and it calls out for, let's say it called out for a 12 by 12 trench for the footing, because this says a stick frame in between our load points. So we have our columns, but then we stick frame in between. So to me, in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't understand why we need to have this thickened edge for, a non-bearing
Yeah.
frame. So we went ahead and did that. And then he came back out and he's like, "Oh no, you guys have to go 28 inches because of frost." And I was like, "Well, the engineered plans don't call for that." He's like, "Oh no, I don't care what the engineered plans call for. That you're gonna have to go deeper and wider and blah blah blah."
Which
And
those plans have been approved by that inspector's building department. Like they've seen it
they're
before.
stamped.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's
it's like, yeah, it's like fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, he gave us a hard time, and I understand his reasoning. At the end of the day, he's the one that's going to sign off on it. But then, on this in the same
No, but
token,
they carry no liability on their sign-offs. It literally says that on the permit card.
yeah,
Like
so
counties and cities carry no liability for any issues.
that's
So
funny.
it's like he could sign off on a gas line that's leaking and they still can't come back at him,
Oh yeah, oh
which
yeah,
is like insane.
people do.
Yeah.
But then, in the same token, we've had other inspectors that are like, "Oh, yeah, looks good, guys. It's nice to see you again. We'll see you later. You know what you're doing." And they'll just sign off. Just kind of depends on that inspector, and it's not that we're like evading certain connections or
Yeah,
not
yeah, exactly.
to do anything like that, but it really just depends in the zone and who you get. So we kind of have a list of inspectors now that we like to work with, or if we know they're coming, we're like, all right, buckle up. It might be might be a little rough or whatever, but at the end of the day, we pass inspection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously. Um,
And then what are permit times like out there? Like, are they getting dragged out pretty long or
so if it's like storage, like non-dwelling, you're looking at like 6 months. We also do.
damn, still 6 months?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
And part of that is like, okay, so if we get the ball rolling, the engineer is going to take, 4 weeks, but at the same time, simultaneously, we're permit process has been going. We have to go through landscape management, depending on where we're located or where the shop is going to be. That's mostly what I do with shops. You have to look at, the plot plan. You have to submit all kinds of stuff with that, and then the reviewing process is what takes a long time. And we've had issues with their correspondence. We've
Yeah.
Sometimes it just goes to like junk mail for some reason, and we have, we don't see that, or and then there's like a lull because we were waiting on them, but they're waiting on us. The online system that they have, it's not very good. It's very
No,
spotty.
they're all from like the 1990s, man. They're still like run on basic or something. It's like,
Very terrible. But yeah, I'm for something like that, you're looking around 6 months for it to finally be approved and for us to break ground. However, we also do ag permits, which help us out a lot because a lot of the things that we do are, like I said, are just envelopes, or of course barns, tack
yeah,
barns,
yeah.
storage, non-dwelling. So through depending on where they're located and their acreage, we can get through with an ag permit that usually gets approved within a month, which is not too bad. Crazy thing about that is you don't need engineered plans at all,
Yeah.
which is kind of wild to me, some of the customers,
Bro, so I built, believe it or not, in Texas when I went to Texas to build this house.
uh
Dude, we built the house on an ag permit.
Yeah,
believe
that's
it or not.
wow.
And dude, I had one inspection and it was from the HOA, believe it or not. And it was just to make sure that the footprint of the house was square to the street. That was the only inspection I had on that entire job, bro.
Yeah, that's wild. And
No
there's
framing inspections, nothing, dude.
like for me, my wife and I we're thinking about doing a little shop ourselves. And it's like, well, I mean, I can go ag, and then once we pass the final, we still have to get a final inspection, but
Yeah.
there's nothing that they're like referring to as far as like engineering goes. So we just get a final inspection, and then after that, what's stopping us from doing anything else after the
Yeah.
fact this shell's been approved? Not that I am, condoning that for every homeowner. Like if you're trying to upgrade your home's value by adding a shop, then you're going to want to do it the right way, because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass if you don't have all the right permits into the
Yeah.
county, anything like that at the end of the day. But for us, man, I just need a place to store my stuff. I mean, I'm gonna add electrical after the fact, or I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this after the fact.
That's what
Uh,
I'm doing. I'm putting a like little studio in the backyard right now, one of those sheds.
yeah.
And I'm just building it without shit. And then I'll come back later and put some electrical in it and shit. I'll just for now just run an extension cord out there and then but yeah, and then when I have time I'll dig the trench and put power out to it.
So tell me about the prefabs. Like, how long have you been doing that for?
So this will be like 4 years coming up now. And yeah, dude, they keep me fucking busy, dude. I have like 7 projects going on now, like going up and stuff. And then like I have a bunch in permitting. Most of my job now is just dealing with these permits and this paperwork shit. Like the biggest thing is because these are not most of them are not. They're like backyard offices, so they're not counted as livable, but they have one class of dwelling that's right under livable, right? So it counts like pergolas with big fireplaces and electrical in them. It counts these like little backyard offices. Those are kind of in one. Pulling
Mhm.
permits for those are pretty easy, but dude, believe it or not, I'm doing engineered plans for fucking 10 by 12
That's wild.
sheds, dude. And we're talking about, dude, to make sure that we hit seismic loads and stuff. These engineers have kind of over engineered them just to pass inspections everywhere because they go all over the country, all 50 states they ship. So we just like did an overzealous engineering plant, bro. We have HDU eights in these fucking sheds, some of them, dude.
A picture.
3/4 Titan bolts in these things. And then every 32 inches, I have a 1/2 inch Titan bolt.
Wow.
It's like, bro, a nuke will not even lift that thing off the fucking
Well,
foundation, you
yeah,
know?
that's one thing I've noticed too is like one of the engineers we deal with, it's just like feel for the other company. I feel like they're out of Idaho, and they work a lot up and down the West Coast. So they have an in-house engineer, and again, like you're saying, it's like a uh, cut and paste pre-engineered thing that they just do for everything across the board. It doesn't matter where you're located,
Yeah.
and just probably for their ease.
Well, yeah,
And
what it is I don't know if you've like just because I did so before I did these sheds, like to get licensed, I worked in San Francisco and I did retrofits on all the apartment buildings. So we put all these foundation like buildings on stilts while people were still living in them. We'd jack them all up. We'd take out all the old foundations, put new foundations in, reframe the stem walls, put in all the shear walls and hold downs and shit. And so I worked a lot with engineers during that time, and I actually was one of the first people to install the Simpson moment frame, which is a steel frame that can be put up by carpenters. It's all bolt-in, so you don't have to have welders and stuff. And what it is Simpson has pretty much dominated it where they have done all the engineering values for these engineers. And so now all these engineers have to do is, like you said, plug
oh,
and play until they hit their calculation numbers that they need to hit for the permit or whatever. And then it's off to you and they're
it's
done with it.
too because all the fasteners they'll call out or tie downs or anything like that, it's like specific Simpson this, Simpson that.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's a pretty interesting point you made there. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been a stockholder in Simpson for a long time. They've made me a lot of money.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, and dude, they're all made it, believe it or not, it's all made in LA, dude. Their factories down in SoCal.
Mm,
And
that's
yeah,
where
they're
I'm
they're
from.
like a pretty oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I'm down
grow up.
South El Monte. El
Oh,
Monte.
okay.
Yeah, Baldwin Park area. My mom still lives down there. But yeah, I lived in El Monte and grew up there till I was in middle school. And
So what
then,
made you go up to Oregon?
so my parents got a divorce,
Okay.
and we had family already here in Oregon. And one time I came up here with my dad. They had shared custody. So we just kind of decided to stay. It was during like the '07, '08, right before the bubble. So there was a lot of opportunity here. And so my dad came here and started doing roofing and working in HVAC too. And then I just moved with them, and I had all my cousins here and all that. So that's why I moved up here, and subsequently, that's where I met my wife in middle school. And we didn't get married right then. Obviously, we had to reconnect down the road. But yeah, we've just known each other for a long time. But yeah, that's originally why we came up here, and yeah, kind of how it all worked out.
So what's the future for all this? Do you think you're going to be like running your own jobs, or are you going to stick with these companies and just do your thing? Like what are you thinking for the future?
So yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about Red Hawk too.
Yeah.
The reason I started that was because we had a lull through my father-in-law. Jobs weren't coming in. A lot of other companies that aren't even based here will come in, buy up a lot of smaller companies, like not his specifically, but something small like
Yeah.
that. Buy equipment, buy everything, and basically just hire out the contractors. And unfortunately, that's really affected how he's able to bid a job. He's had to drop his um, prices down significantly. And like I said, you're not hiring one licensed guy with a crew of, 10 people or whatever. You're hiring him, you're paying for him, and then you're paying for three licensed contractors. So we're a little bit more expensive than your typical kit
Yeah.
job or whatever. So during that lull, my brother-in-law and I both decided to kind of brand ourselves and just kind of prepare to not be reliant on another general or another builder, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the inception of that, and I didn't really know where I was going with it. Of course, as soon as I started it, we picked back up again, but now I'm branded. Now I have my own LLC. So I don't know what the future holds for me as far as that goes. I don't have a solid plan for that. Right now, what I'm working on is just trying to brand myself, show my work. In my head, I kind of want to be, there's a lot of pole barn outfits around here,
Yeah.
but in my head, I kind of want to be known as like, oh, that's the pole barn guy. That's Red Hawk Pole Structure. You're gonna want to hire that guy, just by showcasing what we do on a day-to-day basis. Um, that way people can understand our work ethic and what we're capable of doing as well. I don't really view the socials. I'm only on Instagram really. Um, the socials is like an ad space. I just kind of view it as like a journal. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what we do every day. This is what we can do for you. Take a look. You like how we work? It's pretty uh, slice of life on my Instagram. That's kind of how I'm rolling. Eventually, there's been talks with my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and myself. He'll have to retire at some point, and basically, my brother-in-law and I will be taking over the business. And eventually, the goal is not to swing a hammer so much.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't.
I'll tell you this, dude. Instagram's good, but like the reason why I do so many sheds and that prefab company gives me so many jobs is, dude, this was like my second shed, and when I started with these people and got
Mhm.
in contract with them, they had no video resources for the customers or like how this process was going to go, how the build was going to happen. And so, kind of without their permission, I was like, dude, I'm just going to film this whole process and I'm going to put it up. And
Mhm.
so I put it up without them knowing. And they call me like a few weeks later and they go, hey, did you put up a YouTube video or something? I go, oh, fuck, dude, I'm going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? They're going to be pissed. And I go, yeah, I did and stuff. And they're like, dude, we've been getting 2 calls a week now because of that
Yeah.
video.
Hell yeah.
And so then I started doing more and more. Now there's like, I think almost 80 videos or something like that. But every email introduction and stuff, I link a few of those videos and everything. That has been my biggest return on social media. Honestly, Instagram really kind of is just like a dick measuring contest the entire time. I just go there to talk shit, which is like so funny. But yeah, the longer form video stuff is like where I actually see a return on stuff and get calls from people and everything.
It's good to know. I mean, right now, like I said, that's really the only thing I've been doing, and I've been pretty busy, and it's difficult, man.
It's
Like
tough, dude. I know.
you for like doing long form videos, editing, doing the podcast, like that's a lot of work, man. Even just recording myself at work is
Yeah.
like you know,
Well,
and
dude, and it's such a pain in the ass because, dude, I was moving all this dirt for this big project and stuff, and I was like, dude, I wish I could have, like, I want to film as much as I can, do all this stuff,
then
and but I'm like, dude, I feel like such a fag when I'm setting up my phone on a rock and then like record myself for a bit, grab it, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, you're not 16 anymore. You know what I mean? Like you got to get this shit done. So now, right now, I'm kind of looking for a videographer. I'm probably gonna hire somebody to come for a
dude,
little bit, and film us.
like similar to you, like my father-in-law, the only type of like advertising he does is like, you know, he's online as far as like you can Google search pole barn buildings in Central Oregon. He's
Yeah,
uh, his SEO is pretty good. He comes up like number two right up there.
that's good. Yeah,
Uh, but other than that, he has no. It's all like word of mouth, and he's been established for a long time. But I'm also like, okay, if I develop a lead based off of what I'm able to show that we do, he's not putting any effort or money into that. I'm doing that all on my own. And I do approach it with like, if I can get a job or a lead, it feeds all three of us, you know.
yeah,
And
100%.
with that right now, down the road, we'll see if the company takes a different direction, or I don't know how that's all going to play out. But yeah, I'm hoping that I just want to kind of be the authority of pole structures in our area. I want to be the guy that people want to work with because of what they've seen and what I showcase. Um, yeah. I also, have a little bit of fun with the Instagram. One of the things I've noticed, there's like a big saturation with like 5-second video with a caption and that's it. Or like, I don't know. I don't really, I mean, some of them are funny and I get that for entertainment. I like it. I'll watch it. But as far as like what I'm trying to do, I don't know that I want to do that. So I started kind of like that, but I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to do that, make
Yeah,
like a joke video, 5 seconds and whatever. And I feel like that's super saturated online, almost to the point where I see the same caption from different builders with the short
yeah.
video over and over again, and I'm just like, I'm not getting anything out of this. And with the socials too, man, it's a huge networking opportunity. I've been able to like connect with people. Like you're one of them too. Like
Yeah,
I found you through Ohio Carpenter, and
yeah,
then I watched both their shop talks, him and Colton,
yeah.
um, and also Bass Renovations. And see, like Bass Renovations, I like what he puts out, man. He does a lot of
Yeah, dude, he's been like exploding lately. He's been coming up on my YouTube Shorts feed like
yeah,
organically and stuff, dude. And like the views on some of those shorts is pretty insane.
yeah,
But
and
again, you should see the DMs he gets too, like just
oh man,
about the stupidest crap, dude.
crazy. Like, people are haters out there. And when I made the Instagram too, I was like, okay, I'm gonna brand myself, and I'm only going to have people that like empower me and like share knowledge with me and want to build me up, right? I mean, if you have a community of men, like why would you fucking hang out with people that don't want to uplift you and like make you better, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just talkers. And I don't know. I don't jive with that side of it, but it's part of the beast.
Yeah, dude, I really haven't even hit that side. And I've tried a few times to like get people going and like get some more haters, dude. Because I gotta say, my follower count is fucking shit, dude. I've been like, but the difference is this, like, my Instagram really does serve my clientele. Most of my clients continue to watch my stories, my old clients, and then what'll happen too is I know somebody will be calling in for a shed because like a week or two before they call or order, a new person will come into my stories and they'll watch every single one for like 2 weeks. And they're just like, hammering on watching everything, liking this reel, whatever. And then like a week later, same person, same name, they call, they want to shed. So it's really servicing that part, which is good, right? If you have I only have 500 followers, but if every follower gives me $50,000, I'm a millionaire, right? So it's all about the conversion too and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a tight position to be in, like, because I do have to say, like, my probably biggest vice isn't money or drugs, it's fame.
Mm.
I really like to kind of be the center of the party, you know what I mean? Anybody who's like met me. So that's like something I have to work on a lot, and not get too crazy. But yeah, dude, give me some more haters, guys. Come on, get my fucking comments going. I'm like bored, man. Doing nothing over here.
All right, I'll send you a hate message one of these.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so it's an interesting way to be in because once you start taking off that side, like it's good for like Ohio Carpenter, right? Because he's not necessarily trying to get more carpentry work out of it, but he's selling his shirts, right?
Dude, I
So
love
that's why it's like great for him.
Frogtown.
But for me, I want to be serving more of my clientele. Like they come to this page and they see that and they go, "Oh shit, like look at all these sheds, one
Yeah.
after another, one after another." You
Yeah, and
know?
with my IG, like it's pretty green still. And like I said, I don't know exactly where it's going. I just like I want to be.
You just gotta pump out content, man. Nothing, even if it's just pictures, posts, just
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
It's just years in the game, just like construction.
yep, yep. But also yeah, I was able to really connect with Ohio Carpenter and Colton. Like they've been so supportive and super nice, and I like the stuff they're doing. And yeah, Frog Tongue Framers is pretty cool. I like that. I rep them quite a bit. So that's fun too. It's a cool network opportunity to just get to know other people and see how they're doing things and how they're trying to achieve maybe a similar goal or maybe they have a different goal, like the branding for Frogtown Framers. That's cool. That's going to be passive income, right? So,
Yeah,
that's awesome. I think that's why I kind of had that thought about like branding myself versus being a direct competitor with my father-in-law or whatever other company that is in the same game as me, because I don't have the resources that they do at
yeah,
all. So, like I said, I just kind of want to be the guy around here that people are like, that's the guy, that's the pole barn, that's the Red Hawk, that's the Hawk.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly, dude. No, like I say, you just gotta keep at it, keep it going. And honestly, dude, I mean, you're starting it now, but all I've done is talk about sheds for 4 fucking years. Like anybody who knows me. So it's like you just make it your life and it'll happen.
Yeah.
And then what do you so like pretty much to finish it up, we know where the future is going. What advice do you have for people and stuff like who either want to get into pole bars, just construction in general, whatever? What is something you would have liked to hear when you were younger, help you out?
You know what? It's not really about what I really wanted to hear. It's just I know just just be tough, man. You got to be tough. You got to have tough skin. Sometimes the people that you work for aren't going to be nice or, they're going to be very direct running a business. So just have some tough skin, learn to take it on your chin and put your head down and grind. That's one of the biggest pieces of advice. Don't get caught up in your feelings about maybe I'm not good enough or anything like that. Like it all comes with time. Um, I think that's pretty important and not to get defeated when you cut a beam wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Tough, but
Especially when it's like the end of the day and you've cut it wrong twice or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the joke, right? But there's that, and then one of the things, like I said, the opportunity that I had to immediately just get licensed, just really put me in a position to be reputable, and also, once I did my remodel in my home, it gave me just a huge amount of confidence to be able to tackle other projects.
Yeah,
My reputation isn't a pole barn. The reason I do that is because the work is there, and it's our bread and butter. That's what the company is grown to do. So don't limit in my opinion, just don't limit your scope of work to one thing. I think I like that you do, the interior as well, electrical, all that stuff. Like form work, it's start to finish. You're not just boxed into the framing, aspect,
yeah.
or you're not boxed into a siding aspect or anything like that. Like be willing to branch out and I think confidence is key. In a humble way. I mean,
Yeah.
Um, just you're able to do it. There's so many resources online too.
Yeah,
That
that's the one thing, dude. There is no shortage of being able to figure it out. And that, dude, sometimes like some people will call me, right? And they'll ask me a question or some shit. And I was like, dude, did you not think to just fucking ask Google or
yeah,
Google Gemini or ChatGPT or something? Like there's so much crap out there, or look up a YouTube video or
and
look up a fucking Reddit post.
exactly.
I mean, it's just like,
The forums, like if you
yeah.
sit there and like read through all of that, there's a lot of information and it can vary, and you'll just be able to like formulate your own thought about how you're going to want to tackle it, what's going to best suit you for that application or whatever. I think you got to take the time, to read a little bit and try to like do a little bit. Don't just watch the top YouTube video or
Yeah.
whatever, take a look at how other people do it as well. And then I recommend yeah, getting your license, man, just so that you can tackle side gigs on your own. Like I said, when we have a lull, I'm not dependent on another builder for me to be able to feed my family. I can go out and find a job on my own. And another thing with that is that these bigger outfits, they don't take on those small jobs, man. Um, you have an
Or they're
opportunity.
gonna charge so much that it's not worth the homeowner to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then on top of that, that creates a vacuum for you to be able to charge a little bit more than what you would not undersell yourself. If there's companies comparatively charging that amount of money based on whatever their overhead is or whatever, you know, take that opportunity to try to seize it. Like do it.
Yep.
Have the power to do it. And they're not gonna. Some of them don't even show interest in a small deck or just a landing or whatever. Some of them don't. And I think that creates a big opportunity for small individually licensed contractors. And also, there's no shortage of homeowners that just need a door hung or some trim work done or paint here or there. And I know some people seem to think that they're above that, but it's always an opportunity to learn something new, to obviously make money.
I never let that little stuff go. I always try to get to it and do those projects because I know like that little deck, right? It's something 5, 6 grand, 10 grand, right? Like nothing
Mhm.
crazy. I know those people when they want to put a pool house in or they want to put a pool in or they want to remodel their kitchen, they're gonna call me.
Yep.
So it's we're only making a few grand this time, but I know when they want their $50,000 kitchen remodel done or
Mm.
60, something big,
They
I'll
know.
be first in line, you
Yeah.
know.
Good call. Yeah. Especially if, they've worked with you and they really liked how you worked and you guys were cool the whole time. They're like, oh, I'll give you a call back.
Well, and once you hit a certain threshold of people which make a certain amount of money, they no longer necessarily give a shit about money, if that makes sense. Like they're gonna call you out if you try to fuck them over, but they're okay with the highest bid. But
Yep.
they want to actually just like you. They just
Yep.
want to be able to trust you and like you, and you know what I mean? Like,
People are out to, everyone's out to save money, but yes,
yeah,
that I think you have to understand that about customers too, is like if I were in their position, I might pay a little bit more. Like I just had a heat pump put in and I got AC in my home and I didn't go with the cheapest bid.
yeah.
I went with the next, expensive bid just because of the services promised with that quality of work. And yeah, that's important to some people. And I think people take that for granted. I think they just are afraid of not getting that job, that they might even undervalue their own work. So, I mean, I've been guilty of that too.
Everybody has, man. You never escape it, unfortunately. You
Yeah,
know, it's like I've been in business a long time. There's like still times I gotta like keep myself in line. Like, yeah, don't go lower just to get this job. Like,
yeah,
just you know.
yeah, and yeah, you got to have that in mind too. Um, Other than that, man, uh, yeah, we'll see what the future holds for me. Hopefully, I don't know, we can grow bigger and see what happens. Yeah.
Well, coolio, dude. Well, thanks, dude. I really appreciate you coming out or I should say, come to this Zoom and
Hey,
doing this interview.
I'm about to head down to Napa Valley.
Oh, you are? I just was at a wedding there yesterday. I live very close to Napa. I live like
I'm going to Lake
I'm 10
Bear.
minutes away from Napa.
Yeah, I'm going to Lake Berryessa for like
Oh, Lake Berryessa. Okay.
like five.
Message me when you're here. I'll see you.
All right, sounds good,
Yeah,
brother.
I'll make it out there. I can do that.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna go see coincidentally, old friend I used to work with at the pizza shop. They just had a kid in November, and then I just had, well, my wife had our kid in February. So we're
First
gonna,
kid,
yeah, yeah, first one. So,
you're on for a ride, man. I got two of them now.
oh wow. Well, I mean, it's been fun so far. I mean, a lot of ups and downs, but I'm very, very happy, and my wife and I went through it to get here. So,
Yeah,
um,
enjoy every second of it, man. I don't know. They will. It's weird, dude. They get to be a pain in the ass a little bit, but you almost love it, if that makes sense.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like it's so weird. And like last week, dude, I took my kid, my son, in the Bobcat for the first time.
I saw that.
I
Yeah.
let him run, dude. That kid had the biggest smile on his face like the whole time, and I was just like, oh, yeah, dude. Because I mean, that's what got me hooked. My dad was a welding contractor and stuff, so like that's I was there, watched him drop columns and do big steel and all that, and like, I don't know, it's just natural for me. So hopefully he takes it up too, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
no.
gonna force him. My father actually never wanted me to be a contractor. He did like everything in his power to make me not do it. And obviously it went the opposite. So I may end up taking his same tactic
Yeah.
and doing the opposite because usually we do the opposite of what our parents tell us.
Yeah. I feel like it's a cyclical thing, man. Like your parents always tell you for a reason, and then you go on and do it, and then years later you're like, oh, that's okay, that's
Well,
why.
unfortunately, my choice was probably the best choice. Unfortunately, when they were our age, college was the way to go. College was
Yeah.
the way you became a millionaire. And now that got saturated, and it flipped to the trades. And I remember being in high school and kind of seeing that, because my mom also, like, she's the president of a hardware store. She essentially owns it. It's an ESOP.
Okay.
So I've always been in the industry, right? And
Yep.
dude, everybody, even when I was a kid, was getting old as shit. Like
Yeah.
they were getting old. And I was like, who's gonna build all this stuff? Because
Mm.
like all the contractors I know are phasing out and I'm only 16, you
Yeah.
know? And so then I started doing it and I was like, dude, I'm making way too much money for a 16-year-old right
Mhm.
now. I'm like, I'm not going to college. There's no fucking way. Dude, I thought I was gonna be a millionaire by 25. You know what I mean? Or 21. I was like, dude, this is fucking chill. But dude, I moved out of my parents with like 30 grand, dude.
Oh
Like
wow.
I moved out at 19 with like 30K. I saved up a bunch of fucking money from working for years, and I made it last about 2 or 3 years until I ran out of it.
Yeah. And here you are.
And now, yeah, now I'm building it all back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool,
But
man.
all right,
Thanks.
dude. Well, I'll talk to you later. Let me know when you're in town and around, and we'll probably meet in person, dude. For
Oh,
real.
sounds awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Love what you're doing. Also, your gram is informative. I like to see, how other people do it, especially with like the prefab stuff. It kind of interests me,
I'm telling you, dude, it is the future. I don't really like it necessarily because it is cookie cutter shit. Don't get me wrong. Like
Right.
I know what I build, but that is what the market is right now. And until honestly, we do need another golden age in an economy.
Hmm.
Once that happens, which who knows when that'll happen, it's a cyclical thing. Um, when that does happen, I do believe the more custom stuff is going to become more apparent again because like, dude, before '08, custom was everything.
Hmm.
And even after '08, '09, when things started going, custom was still big.
Yeah.
And then prefab started coming back on the line more with like this homelessness stuff and everything. So we'll see how it goes and everything. But I really do think prefab is like the way to go. Dude, now the company I have, they have two-story carriage houses, they have full houses now, and
All
they have
prefab.
like a four condo resort model. So if you're building a hotel or something, like you could have these uh fourplexes essentially built, all prefabbed.
I'm a
Um,
killer.
yeah, and also too, everybody now just wants speed, bro. Everybody gets everything instantly from their phone. Everything's instant now. You get DoorDash, Amazon, all that shit. And unfortunately, that's what people want in their buildings now. And I
Yeah.
think that's why it's good with the pole barns too, even though, like you said, like some stuff is a little bit slower. It's still faster than stick frame.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And doing a whole footing and doing all the stem walls and doing all this shit still faster than that. So that's why too, everybody's like, yeah, let's just do a pole barn, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's easier. It does, depending on how you're finishing it, tend to be more
correct. Yeah.
economical. And also in our area, especially in South County, like Sun River, there's certain zones where you cannot build an actual dwelling. So one of the things is these pole barns with an RV hookup. Boom, there you go.
Yep.
You got your place where you're gonna go park your toys and come up and visit the lake and stay for a few days or weeks or whatever. So that's kind of the way things are here. A lot of envelopes. But barn dominium epidemic is a real thing, and everyone wants that too. They just don't want to pay those prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Sweet
Have a
man.
good one.
Take care.